Hi, welcome back or welcome to my channel if you're new. My name is Laura. Hi, hello, welcome. Today we are doing the 5th update in my Pan Those Eyeshadows project pan. And the first thing I want to mention is thank you Alexi Shostin for creating this concept, creating this project. This is an eyeshadow-centered project pan, and what that means is basically in this project, the goal is to hit pan or hit the shiny part where the eyeshadows are pressed into whatever component they are. It could be a metal pan, it could be a plastic pan, it could be anything. Just the goal is to hit the bottom of whatever vessel it's in. That's what the goal is. However, in my project, I am also allowing myself to have a usage goal. So all of the rules that I have are going to be in the description box. However, I will also link my introduction video. Maybe this is your first time clicking on this. My introduction has all of my rules and explains everything a little bit more. It'll be the playlist. I'll have the playlist listed, excuse me. So I have a pretty exciting update. I wasn't really expecting to have that many rollouts. And then I was expecting to have a couple rollouts, like I had 2. And then today when I was doing my makeup, I actually hit pan in a shade. Little spoiler. So I always have my Pan Those Eyeshadows spreadsheet listed down in the description box. That way you can kind of keep along to reference numbers in any prior video. So I'm going to stop rambling. We're going to talk shades. I'm going to swatch things out as they go. Hopefully I'll have a color story go up somewhere. So the first item that we're going to talk about is an exciting one, and it comes from this guy, my Natasha Denona green brown palette. And I was super excited to roll the shade or a shade in from this palette, and then when I saw what shade it was, I was a little less excited to roll this palette in. Out of all the shades, I picked the one shade that is a blue in this palette. How what are the odds? 1 in 600 something, whatever my number is. So I had the shade Cloudy Blue in for, I think this is the 3rd month now that it's been in. So I'm very happy to report that all of that hard work came into fruition and we hit pan in that shade. And surprisingly, it didn't take me that long to hit pan since my last update. That was the first shade I hit in this round. I lied. It was the second pan I hit. However, it was still pretty quick. After the first shade, I hit this one and I was like, dang, I did not realize. But man, Natasha Denona does not mess around with her shades. They are dense. They are thick. There's a lot of shade in, or there's a lot of product in these pans. There's 2 grams per pan of eyeshadow. So that pan that I have, I hope you can really tell just how deep you're not going to be able to see. There's no way you're going to be able to see, but that pan is at least 4 millimeters down there. She's thick. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so unbelievably happy about that. I did like wearing it. I have some looks. I don't remember if I took a clip with this particular shade, but I did wear it a very much amount of time, and I learned ways that I do enjoy it. Could I tell you right now? No. It's in the moment kind of thing, but I did enjoy that shade while I had it in this project, and I'm happy that I got a pan in. That's my first pan in the green brown palette. Super stoked about that. Then the next shade is a single, so it's been living in my BYOP for the past couple months. I think this is the 2nd month this has been in. And the shade that I had is a Cleona Cosmetics single, and it's a beautiful one of their multi-chromes. It's one of their glitter multi-chromes in the shade Ornamental. I'm not going to spoil it, but here we are now. So clearly there's no pan in, clearly no pan in this shade yet. You can tell there is a dip in it. This is a very flaky, maybe flaky is not the right word, but it's soft and glittery. So it is a little flaky formula. There's something in me that is still just holding back a little bit from actually giving myself full permission to use this, which is annoying. I don't know why I can't wrap it in my head that just just use it. It's okay if you hit pan. Like, they still sell it. They still make it. You could buy it again. But for some reason, I'm like, no, it's so special, I can't. So I don't know. I haven't decided if I want to roll that out or not, because I really am not reaching for it, and I don't know why. Maybe it's the time of year. I don't know. I really don't know. I wake up very early for work a lot of the time, and a lot of the time I really don't want to like do a full-on colored look, or if I do, I've been like gravitating towards purples, which is totally out of my character, but I'm like really embracing the purples anymore. So that's been nice. However, that one is just got very minimal use, which sucks, but it is what it is. The next shadow we have to talk about comes from this bad boy here. This is my ColourPop Bare Necessities palette. Josh had gifted this to me for Valentine's Day a couple years ago, and I really enjoy it. Like, all the formula in here is beautiful. The mattes are nice. The shimmers are creamy and delicious, so that's good. The shade we were working on was a nice neutral, like, everyday kind of shade called Silk Teddy. Again, super, super everyday. In fact, I basically wore this every day for like many, many occasions going to work, because it's, again, a very neutral palette, and I can literally slap it on within like 5 minutes and go. But here is what Silk Teddy is looking like now. So you can clearly see that we have, as Steph Lyons says, sweet, sweet pannual, sexy pannual, sweet pannual, sweet, sweet pannual, juicy pannual, juicy Lucy pan. That's what she says. Juicy Lucy pan in this guy, and I'm so unbelievably excited. I definitely did not do a good job reaching for every shade in this palette, as I've been kind of trying to do for like my Pan Those eyeshadows. I've been treating it almost like a no pan left behind. That one, however, for some reason I was like, yeah, I'm not interested in touching every shade. So there's that. Eventually, but just not a right now kind of thing. So that's 2 shades so far going on out. Then the next shadow comes from apparently a frequent flyer in this project. If you've been on my channel for a while, you know the ABH Cosmetics Take Me Back to Brazil loves to be in this project. Apparently this is now my new ABH Cosmetics Take Me Back to Brazil palette. This is the Glam Light Cosmetics Ice Cream Dream palette, and I had the shade, I've had 3 shades in this palette so far. The shade that I'm currently working on is the shade Blueberry Cheesecake, which is a shade that I've very, very barely touched, because as you know, I haven't been into purples until recently. So I'm very happy to report I hit this today. I took my makeup off and redid it because it was looking very tragic after work. We had our truck shipment today, and I really want to film today so I can edit it over like the course of like a couple days, because Josh is coming back from Amsterdam tomorrow. I'm so excited, and I work so much the upcoming days. I'm just like, I need to do this. So I took my makeup off, I redid my makeup, and I hit pan. It's not like I was digging in there. I really just, these pans are not deep by any means. And I find that the shimmers are almost, for lack of a better word, crumbly. Like, they're not crumbly, but they're crumbly. If that makes any sense. Like, they're smooth. They're like very malleable. That might be the better word. They're very malleable and like can kind of move around a bit in the pan. I definitely did not dig my brush into it, but I feel like it kind of looks like I did. I don't know. But I can't believe how large that pan is compared to like my strawberry cheesecake one, which I really enjoyed using this shade. So but I've also really enjoyed this. I have no idea. I think I just used a different type of brush to apply it today, and that's kind of why I hit the pan that I did. But I'm excited. That's the 3rd pan. 3 pans so far. Woo! So excited. Then the last shade comes from a very, very much brand new palette in my collection. This is the newest palette that I've purchased in my collection. This is the Adept Cosmetics Plain Jane Remastered palette. And I have been working on the shade ICI5. And that is this guy here. So hopefully you can see some disturbance in the pan. Like, it looks, hopefully you can see the multi-chrome goodness of this palette is kind of overtaking everything. Man, it is very hard to see that, isn't it? I'm like reaching right here where my finger is to the pan. I really haven't reached for this a lot. I don't know why. I have been really, really into my Subculture and my Natasha Denona topper shadow. So even the progress that I made in here, I wasn't expecting to make it because I just have been like, I love that orange look with like that green duochrome that I've been rocking. Not so much the pan those eyeshadows, but since we hit pan in so many things, it's very exciting. So now I'm like reinvigorated for this project, which is always good. So that being said, I have 3. So 1, 2, 3 shades rolling on out. And then I'm keeping my Plain Jane Remastered palette and the Cleona Cosmetics green shade that I'm working on. That beauty there. So I am really excited about that. So we can roll some shades in. Why am I so weird? Like, all this energy all the time. All the flippin' time. All right. So I now have the numbers 2 to 652 on the Pretty Random app there. I don't really know if you can see, hopefully there. Because I have a header in my spreadsheet, I start on line 2, and then at the very bottom, there are 2, like a total pan and my pan percentage amount. So I'm excited. I'm very excited for this. So I'm going to roll 3 shades. However, there are caveats to this project. Again, I'm going to link or tell you to go look in the description box. If any of those stipulations or caveats come up, we'll talk about it then, but there are some to go over. So the first shade I'm going to roll is 180. I am not rolling 180. I accidentally just kicked my camera, so hopefully things didn't shift too much. However, I'm going to just very much say I am not going to work on shade 180. It comes from another Natasha Denona 28 pan palette. However, this is the purple blue palette. Since this is in my project level up, it kind of makes it ineligible for this project, and that would have been the shade. I'm gonna veto that. Well, I guess technically it's not a veto because I do have a rule that if it's in the project level up, the palette, it is basically ineligible for this project. Apparently I accidentally rolled shades, so I'm just gonna clear history and we're gonna ignore what's on there because I literally just set the phone down like that and it jostled. So I'm going to use this number, which is 220. I'm going to gently set my phone down so I can look at 220. Ooh! So in my palettes I love but haven't used this year video, which I will link in the cards if you haven't seen it, I mentioned briefly about how I kind of was thinking about doing a Natasha Denona centered project pan or like eyeshadow project pan next year. Basically pan those eyeshadows, but only my Natasha Denona shades because they're so expensive. They're so expensive. And I don't like give myself the okay to like just use them. I'm like, no, they have to be in a project. So it was kind of like an incentive for me to like use these expensive things. However, I am lucky enough to have rolled the Love palette in. And I don't think this is the palette that I would have opted for for this time of year. However, I'm not mad that I rolled this in. And the shade that I rolled in is super, super useful. It's going to be great with a shade that's already in this project, but I'm stoked. I am just now realizing I did not swatch things. Okay, so I apologize. However, those are the shades that we had in. So we have Ornamental on top from Cleona, and then ACI 5 from Adept Cosmetics Plain Jane Remastered. As mentioned, the Love palette got rolled in, and the shade that I picked is really exciting, actually. I'm actually really looking forward to using this palette. The color we got was Valentine, which is like the lightest pink in the palette. It's beautiful. I recently pulled this into, I can't remember if it was in the video of my Shop My Stash for May. However, I definitely pulled this out at some point in May, played with a lot of the shades, then tucked it back in my collection. I also mentioned in my palettes I love but haven't used yet that like, I wanted to do a Natasha Denona centered project, or like pan those eyeshadows, but with Natasha Denona, since they're so stinking expensive. And I just hyper focus on my pan those eyeshadows and like any panning project. So I'm excited to roll in Valentine into this project. I also think it's going to go so unbelievably beautiful with my Subculture palette. The next shade we have is going to be 404. Oh, okay, I'm going to veto this shade. I already know I'm going to veto this shade because I worked on essentially the exact same color earlier this year. So the eyeshadow in number 404 slot comes from my Shroud Cosmetics Creepy Cute palette. And I rolled the shade Creep It Real, which I hit pan in a matte blue or a matte teal, like mint color earlier this year from the Glamlight Ice Cream Dream palette. I'm vetoing this. I'm good. I am okay not hitting pan in that shade. I'm like, I need a break. The next shade, 624. Oh no, I feel like this is gonna be hard. Oh, I have pan in 624. So it's the Urban Decay Heavy Metals palette, the shade Twisted. I already have pan in that. So we'll roll again. I'm so sorry, I'm all over the map in this one. So number 302. Let me pull that real quick. What are the odds? This project apparently really likes to have the same palettes roll in multiple times. The next shade we have comes again from Bare Necessities. I guess the universe was like, you haven't used all the shades? You gotta keep her out. I feel like that's how this project has been going for me recently. Which shade are you? Oh my god, this is gonna be such an easy shadow for me. I'm so excited. It doesn't hurt to have an easy shade now and then. So I'm going to swatch this first. Oh my gosh, this is going to be so good. This is going to be a-okay for me to work on. So the shade that we rolled is called Idle Hour, which is that first one in the palette. So I am not expecting that to be difficult at all. That will essentially be my Forever Inner Corner shade until that gets pan in it. So that's exciting. So at least I know we'll have one roll out for next month, which is always good. Always the goal to have at least one shade rolling out. Keep this project fresh and exciting. Then, and that is Idle Hour swatched out on the bottom closest to my wrist. Very excited about that. Then the absolute last shade we're going to work on is going to be 326. Oh man, that's going to be the same palette, isn't it? Ooh, I might not be rolling this in. Yeah, I'm not going to roll this in. It would be used in my brows, and I really just don't want to work on that. I'm working on Mercury in my brows, and I don't... It's 2 vetoes in one video, but I really don't care. So, one shade from that palette only. Sorry, I know this is probably, like, scattered, and I apologize in advance for it, but I need to be excited about my project, and I'm already going to have this out. I don't need a second shade in there. However, the next shade, the last shade, is going to be 478. What are the effing odds? Why? Why? Oh my gosh. No. No. I know. It's annoying. I know. I need a break. Show some other things, love. 552. Jeez, oh Pete, what are the odds? That would have been the 5th one. I am so excited about this next palette that I rolled. I am elated. I'm so excited about this one. I finally get to use the avocado toast palette. Oh, what shade did we roll? Oh my gosh, and it's a shade I love. So, not that I really know. I've used this shade once, I think. I might have just swatched it too. I truly think I only swatched it. But looking at the palette, I'm like, ooh, I like that shade. Any guesses? Any guesses what shade we rolled in? Just going to do one of these so you kind of get the full effect. Did you guess right? Did you guess Haas right there? Something about those olivey golds are like so good. So, oh my gosh, I can't wait. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Ta-da! That is Haas down there. Definitely different than ornamental. I almost could use this. Like, I'm imagining this really beautiful halo eye with that, like Destiny from my Pan That palette on the outer corners. Haas on like a little closer inside of the lid, but on the outer portions, and then ornamental, that shade in the very center. And if I want to get wild and crazy, I can even put this shade here, Idle Hour, in like the very tippy top center of the lid, plus it as an inner corner, and I think that would be so pretty. So pretty. So this is my color story for the month of June. I am uber looking excited for this. I am so excited. This, like, every month I feel like, I'm like, oh my gosh, this color palette is so pretty. And then the next month I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the best one. And then the next month happens and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the best one. So every month it just like, this project's getting like a fine wine, better as the year goes on. I'm so happy. I definitely was very burnt out last year doing this project, and like this time last year I was like, I'm tapped out. I can't do this project anymore. But I swear every month since January, it's just gotten better and better and better for me. So I am stoked about this. Hello. Even like the pink and green vibe looks stunning together. So I'm just super excited. But that is it for this update 5 for my Pan Those Eyeshadows project pan. Thank you guys so much for watching, sticking through, enjoying. Hopefully it wasn't super annoying watching me roll and re-roll and roll and re-roll and roll and re-roll so many times. I know it was probably a little bit annoying. I'm like annoyed at myself that I had to do it so much. But if I learned anything from last year in my extreme makeup fatigue from like how stressed I was with my job, I just need to make this project as exciting as possible for me, keep myself motivated, keep myself happy, keep myself excited for this project and to hit pan in eyeshadows. And it's there. It's happening. I'm feeling that vibe right now. And I kind of want to keep the train going. And if that means I'm vetoing shades and I'm like, no, it's not happening, or shades are too similar and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Like, it's gotta happen. I gotta keep this project exciting for me, and clearly I'm excited. Like, if you couldn't tell, I'm very excited right now. But that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys are truly staying healthy, sane, and safe, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye!